What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. In the last Track They Are video, we covered the I think it was called the ape that you guys commented on in the in the comment section. Obviously, you helped me out with that one. Thank you very much. And the guys over at Track They Are, the devs, have taken double it and passed it on to a whole new meaning. So we're not doing 2 tires today. We're not doing 3. We're doing 4 instead. So they're working on quads as the next the next thing they want to do in the game, and I want to do them a bit more justice. So I need to actually choose a track that I feel like they would work well on, because last time I think the track I chose was just a little bit over the top. So I'm not going to go Supercross. I could do Tarn. Tarn's pretty good. It's not any like huge jumps at all. Utah. I don't want to do a flat track. I did download new Unadilla. I mean, I could try that. Save covering it in 2 videos. I mean, yeah, why not? Let's do a bit of Dilla. Everyone loves a bit of Dilla. This is a custom track created by Distraction. And I did have it downloaded just to cover in just a separate video altogether on the MX bikes, but you know what? When in Rome. Okay, so I was worried then. I thought the audio wasn't working, but we're all good. We're all Gucci. So we've got 2 things to try out today. Then we've got this new Unadilla track, and then we've got some ATV physics that we're being worked on too. So, oh god, I'm hoping that this does kind of work, and you can steer it with the back end around corners. I mean, ooh, kind of. Now, I feel like there's this little rivalry between motocross guys and quad guys, and if I'm honest, I find like when I watch professional like ATV racing, I think it's just as impressive as motocross. Like especially when you see them hitting these like off camber sorts of jumps, and they've got I'm beached. I'm beached. No, go. And you see just trying to land all 4 wheels at a time, hanging on for dear life around the corners. Like they really have to get their ass off the inside of the seat, which I was kind of hoping would be the case here, but the rider's movement doesn't seem to lean into the corners well. It leans like away, but it doesn't lean into, which is a shame. But it's fine, you know. These are... I mean, this quad and the ape that I covered in my last Track Day video, they're both in the prototype section, and this is all in dev build. You know, this isn't public release at all, so I'm quite privileged to even just be able to play on these things. And again, I think it just it's one of them things where it's like these devs over at Track They are. I think they've got a screw loose. Like they're always just working on the next thing that they can possibly conceive in their minds, and I have no idea what they're going to come up with next. Honestly, I'll log on to have a look at the Discord server from one day to the next, and the topic of conversation will be completely changed. Like the attention spans are kind of short, but I think that just makes for more original content, I suppose. Get to try out all these weird, wacky, and wonderful things. And shout out to Distraction as well for kind of keeping the track modding side of things alive, because he's released a few tracks now onto Track They Are mods. There aren't many on the motocross side of things, so to have another replica of a real track is really, really good to see. And I mean, oh Jesus, that was bouncy. I think he's got the core feel of Unadilla down. I can't imagine the time and effort that goes into making these sorts of replica tracks. I've ridden a fair few Unadillas on a fair few different games as well, and they all kind of have different iterations and variations, but at its core, you know when it's Dilla, you get bits like Screw You that we've just gone up and down. You get the big old Sky Shot as well, which is always a good jump to watch the people and the AMA races, seeing Roxon just throw it absolutely fat over it. We double into this corner, lovely. And do take all this with a pinch of salt, because this track I imagine would ride 10 times better on a bike rather than a quad. And then at the same time, I believe this is one of the first iterations of the quad that they've put into the game, so it's all very early days. I'm just trying to get a hang really of the turnings. It's like, I feel like you can lean forward, slam on the brakes, get the back end to step out, and then turn it with the back end, which is kind of what I would expect from a quad. I've not ridden ATVs since I was very, very young. Like, I believe I rode quads before I ever rode a motocross bike, and really, really small. I remember the local track by me. I remember one day going there, and my cousin also got one at the same time. So we was both there on the same day, and I remember he fell off, and I had to go and like side saddle his one back, and it's just like one of them core memories that you never ever forget. And it wasn't until seeing that they put quads into this game that it kind of popped back into head, and I was like, oh yeah, I have actually ridden quads at one point in my life. And I mean, you guys might have to update me. Like, is it just a preference nowadays on if quads are thumb throttles or twist throttles, because I know when I was little, my tiny one had a thumb throttle on it, and I remember my thumb getting like so painful from trying to hold it in all the time. And I imagine if you're like leaning all the way off of one side to the other, it's probably quite difficult to do a twist throttle or a thumb throttle and be smooth on it. So I don't know. Let me know. I don't know how big our quad community is on this channel. I know we're all here for motocross stuff predominantly. I remember I'd done. So when I used to do reflex videos here and there as well, I remember I'd done a dedicated quad reflex video, and like the views were so bad. They were atrocious compared to the motocross side. So I know it's a smaller community, but I do try and cater for everyone. The gyro in the air on these is not amazing, so if they do want to improve that as well, that would be ideal. What I mean by gyro is when I brake, I'd like the front end to dip down. When I accelerate, I'd like the front end to come up ever so slightly. I'm guessing it all still works exactly the same as on a quad as it would on a motocross bike. I expect them not... Oh, keep it alive, keep it alive. Oh my god, how have I survived that? As you can see, you can balance on 2 wheels and not fall off, which is quite funny. It wouldn't surprise me if you see, when this gets fully released to the public, if you see more of the Bike Life guys going all kinds of wild. And let's talk about that a bit, actually, whilst I'm at it. So, I hadn't been on the Track Day R mod site in a hot minute, you know, probably since I covered the Deegan compound, I want to say, which with Rum, which was quite some time ago. And it's almost like it's been overtaken a little bit now by the Bike Life guys. They're kind of importing all these different maps that they can just go around and wheelie on, and to each of their own, of course. But like, I find wheelies in this game are so easy. It is just a case of lean back and then modulate the throttle a little bit. Like, it's much easier than MX bikes is. Like you haven't really got a balance. Oh, pardon me, Jesus! You can tell that I've just had my lunch. How? You know what? I'm leaving it in. I don't care how unprofessional it is. You can accept my burp. And yeah, it's easy in MX bikes. It kind of takes care of the side-to-side balance. You haven't got to worry about it. All you have to do is the throttle to keep the front wheel up in the air. And people love it. Like, people genuinely love it. And I need to... I don't know. Maybe I'm missing out on something, but I can't get that same level of enjoyment out of just wheeling all the time. The most I do it is when you boys join me for MX bikes, like professional races, and when I'm in the pits and you're not allowed on the track before the race, I'll just wheelie all over the place. And you can see it's like it's so easy. You can keep the wheelie up for so long. But to each of their own. I can't tell people how to play these games. But Distraction, shout out to the man. He's keeping the track side of things alive with his custom tracks. We've got this one, and I think there's one more recent one that he made, which is a custom track, which I might try out at some point. And when I say custom, I just mean not a replica. Obviously this is a custom track as well, but yeah, completely different. But this is, I think this is his first replica in game. I think he's done a pretty good job. Obviously it's not as perfectly polished as if you was to, say, load up MX bikes and play like a JV replica track or a TFC replica track. I don't know how long Distraction has been building for, but it's nice to see that there is someone in the community kind of keeping the motocross side of things alive. And why has my quad just decided to do that? I'm pretty sure I didn't turn there in the air. I think that was all natural and by itself. Let's just quickly run over. What's the whole start in the quad thing like on this? Is it just start? Yeah, just a push button. It's good. I'm guessing quads don't have kick starts nowadays. They're probably all electric starts like the motocross bikes are. I feel like such an idiot when I talk about things I really know nothing about. But a lot of times when I make these videos on a subject that I'm not too clued up on, once the video's been up a day, I'll just go and skim through all the comments, and usually I've got all of my answers. So yeah, big thank you to all of you guys that are genuinely helpful and don't just take the piss out of me for not knowing or just calling me stupid. Because I do try. I try my best. I don't intentionally try to annoy anyone. Maybe one or two people I try annoying on purpose, but no, for the most part, I try and be rather chilled out and fine. And I just want to take this moment as well, whilst we're learning this track and moving about a little bit, to again say thank you for everybody that stopped by on my last Sons of the Forest stream. I had a hell of a lot of fun. We're making a lot of progress as well. I think so. I'm in about... I actually looked at Steam today. I'm 6.9 hours in. Okay, funny sex number. And we've made some really good progress. I don't know how far away I am from the finish, but I'm going to keep streaming it. I'm thinking maybe like 2 streams or so a week. Maybe even 3. Depends how much spare time I get. but I've been enjoying it so much, and it probably won't be the last non-motocross related game that I stream on the channel, because even though in terms of, you know, views and like revenue and things like that, it's really not worth it, but at the same time I enjoy doing it, and you got to do what you enjoy. You can't be so focused on the numbers all the time. But if I do want to be focused on numbers, I have a genuine question to ask you guys, because December 2022 was my best month on the channel in terms of like views and subscribers gained ever, and it was going really, really well. However, this year, January, February, and now going into March, it's been on kind of like a steady decline. Now, I'm guessing it's just maybe the type of content or videos that I'm putting out in general doesn't kind of vibe with everyone properly. I'm just open to ideas. What do you guys want to see in like motocross related stuff? Because I'm never going to do videos on games that aren't motorbike related. I mean, I know you're currently watching a quad video, which kind of defeats the whole point, but you know what I mean. It's tracked AR, it's mostly bikes. I'm just showing something off that's a bit unique. But in terms of MX bikes, MX Simulator maybe, what are you interested in seeing? Because that is a big thing for me. Like I do care about that. I do want this whole YouTube thing to kind of thrive and survive for as long as possible, and that all stems and starts with you guys. What do you find interesting? Let me know down below. I do read all my comments. I know I don't reply to all of them, but every single one I scroll through. I load the YouTube app up on my phone numerous times throughout the day just to have a quick look and skim through them all, so don't feel like your opinion is not heard. It definitely is, unless you've been hidden on the channel for being an arsehole. I've done that to a handful of people so far. But no, if you've been a nice, lovely, civilized person with constructive feedback, then I'm open for it. I'm definitely open to hear it. And join my Discord channel as well. We are very close to 2,000 members, and I've got a video suggestions channel in there too. I've noticed a bit more activity in there as of the last couple of days, really, in terms of people looking for more people, like-minded people to play with, like on MX bikes, whatever it may be. So if that's you and you want some people to play with, then hop in, join the Discord, leave some video suggestions. There are some good ones in there. A lot of them kind of stem around like live streams or recording at a really popular time of day when I'd usually be streaming or at the gym. So I'll probably have to wiggle a few things around. You know, we've got the standard like massive pit bike race, which I tried before, and we only got a couple of people in, so it is difficult to get them sorts of races organised. Alternatively, it's just like weird and wonderful tracks, you know, like the new Hurren Compound pit bike track that came out will be good, the Hurren Mosh Pit pit bike track as well. So there's definitely some unique things that we can get going as a community, so look out for those announcements very, very shortly. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be a bit of a shorter video as things go, if I'm completely honest. You get the gist of it. It is a quad. It's actually quite fun doing this in first person, because you do, like, even though I can only see the front, you do have a sense of where the back is at all times. You can feel it behind you stepping out, so that's good. It's kind of like a bit different to how I feel when I'm playing like some first-person games, and I feel like I can't feel what the bike's doing behind me, which is why I like the MX Bikes dynamic first-person. I feel like when I'm in the static one, I can't feel it as much. Same with like Lock to Bike and things like that. It feels awful. But this is good, like really good. The first-person camera on this quad is really nice. I'd like to see them make a few adjustments in terms of like how it turns, how the rider's body leans, the gyro like being changed slightly could be quite good. So there's a bit more movement in the air. I know we're not going to be going and getting steezy and upside down like you can on MXOS ATV quads, because that's not really realistic at all, but nonetheless, for a first attempt at this, I think it's pretty good. And then Distractions made us quite a nice Unadilla replica here, so look out for some more Track DR stuff in the near future. I will probably cover the other custom track that's been released too at some point, and I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I would really, really appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is you're up to, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.